Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? The Kitty G on EGTV, and we're back again with another video. And I'm with the guy, Aslan. Aslan, how's it going? Yo, you're on mute, bro. All right, anyways, since Aslan's on mute, we're just going to get started with big up Semantics FC in the chat doing their thing. People in the chat, if you want to jump on, you can jump on. Let me know if you guys are available. Yo, Iga, Arsenal won, drop a damn, what? What? Anyways, yo, AK, what are you saying? Azan, you there? Woohoo! Man's here, but he's not here. Anyways, do me a
Sorry,
favor.
my bro. My bad, man. My bad.
Ooh, yo, your audio is loud. Let me turn that down. 1 second. Speak.
What is it loud?
Say something now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. It was at like 150. I lowered it a little bit. Anyways, today's show, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We got to talk about Arsenal's current recent form. We got to talk about the fact that every single game, even though we're winning, it's like the next game is the big test. The next game's the big test. The next game's the big test. The next game's the big test. When are we gonna say, you know what? We just won a good game. We won a big test, and we gotta see how we do now. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the recent form Arsenal in. We've won 7 of our last 9, drawn 2, undefeated in 9. It's pretty good. Then we're also gonna have to talk about William Saliba and the whole situation around William Saliba. I'll keep this short. I'll keep it sweet. But any questions you guys have in the chat, throw it in. Big up Azan, as my guy says. Big up the chat box, as Azan says. Big up Daniel, saying big up everyone and subscribe and like and share the video. Yeah, let the people know that we're up and we're about. But yeah, let's get the show started. Azan, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm blessed, my bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. You happy about the recent form and how everybody's been doing?
Yeah, I mean, from yesterday's result, it was a great result. Yeah, I mean, look, the form that we're on right now, it's positive signs, and long may it continue.
There you go. I think if we can keep this up, a lot of people will be taking Arsenal a little bit more serious, and it will maybe have people questioning their stance on Arteta. Not me personally at this moment. I still feel like there's a lot to be done for us to reevaluate the whole Arteta argument. But at the moment, he's getting results, and that's all we ask for, right?
100%. I mean, that's what we want to see from not just the manager, but also the players. In the last 18 plus months, close to 2 years, we've had a lot of change.
There
So
you
it's kind of good to see that even though we've got one of the youngest squads in the league, to actually see them produce the type of football that we want to see them collectively and individually as well. I mean, although it being a team sport, like, if we want to microscope it and, pick out certain players, we want to, kind of like dissect their play as well. So, yeah, individually and collectively, there's a lot of positives. And, I won't shy away from admitting that, look, some of these players have impressed me so far. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and obviously, jump on a hype train. And it's like, this ain't no indirect to anyone. I'm just saying how it is, how I see it. But I'm just willing to give them time. And look, if they carry on this type of form, they are going to get their credit from myself. So, yeah, happy days.
Okay, so let's just go through the games. Norwich. Norwich, if I remember correctly, that was a game where we squeaked by. We got a lucky goal from Pepe somehow getting the goal to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang squeezes it in. And we were lucky we didn't concede because, you know what, we had some hard defensive moments, but you know what, our defense was solid. How do you remember the Norwich game? We're just taking a look back at the 9 games undefeated, and we're
Oh,
just
bro, you're testing my memory, man. My memory's not too great like that, bro. Yeah, I
okay.
mean, look, all I remember is the result, bro, and the goal scorer. It was at home, right? Um,
Yes.
and yeah, it was a tight game. from what I can remember of it. I can't actually remember like standout phases of play or anything like that, any specific moments in the game. But yeah, it was a tight game. But again, sometimes you've got to win these tough, rough games where you literally just got to show grit. And whenever you get your chance, you have to be clinical and convert it. So we did that, and we got the 3 points.
There you go. Next, we had the Burnley away game. If you remember, the Burnley away game was a difficult game because we fought. We got the goal from the ODEGAARD free kick. And in that Burnley game was the game where it was like, I started to say, you know what, this team still didn't show two wins, 1-0 wins, but we scraped it. And a lot of people were saying we were lucky to beat Burnley. That's what I kept hearing, that we were lucky to beat Burnley. But that 1-0 against Burnley started to show that we could fight and we had grit and we had grind. And we started to see Ramsdale's abilities because he came off the line quickly, almost got given a penalty, but then was overturned because it was found out that Ramsdale was doing well. And that was the game that we started to see how good Ramsdale and Tomiyasu and these guys were. I think Tomiyasu was one of the man of the match candidates for that game, but ODEGAARD ended up getting it because he scored the winner. But yeah, what do you remember from that Burnley game?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much echo what you just said there. And yeah, ODEGAARD getting on the score sheet from a set piece, a free kick from just outside the box. And, that was a moment of individual brilliance, at the end of the day. From what I remember, the free kick, like Burnley's wall split, or was it one of their players didn't jump high enough? But again, that's their issue. That's down to their organization or lack of organization. And at the end of the day, ODEGAARD, he's known to be a free kick specialist. And yeah, it came good. But again, if we didn't score that, if that foul was never there or that set piece, again, it would have been down to fine margins, and we could have, spoke about that game in a whole different way. But again, it happened, and we won away. So again, I don't expect this team to play consistently by giving out the best performance in order to get the maximum points. And at the end of the day, sometimes you do need an element of luck, and on that occasion, it called for it. So.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google. So let's go back to the North London derby. If you remember what happened, Tottenham get battered everywhere they go, was ringing across everywhere. We beat Tottenham 3-1, and that was the third game now in a row where we won, but this was a convincing performance. In the first half, we blitzed them, scored 3 goals. I was lucky enough to be in the Emirates for that game, and it was a wonderful game to go to. Right?
I think a lot of people remember you were at that game ago.
Yeah. Let's just look at some of the moments. You remember Ben White showing that he could pocket Harry Kane in that game. I remember seeing Harry Kane was a shadow of himself and still is a shadow of himself. I think Gabriel has the same amount of goals as him in the Premier League at the moment. What else happened? Aubameyang got on the score sheet. Arteta was absolutely celebrating every goal like it was the biggest goal of his life. We've seen moments with Saka scoring, Smith Rowe scoring, and Aubameyang doing the knee slide. It was a good game overall. Absolutely loved it. And the performances from the likes of Tomiyasu in the defense, they started to show how good they really are. But yeah, what do you remember of the North London derby, man?
Yeah, I mean, look, that was our sixth game of the season, and for me, that was our first outstanding performance. Yes, obviously we had the home advantage, but at the end of the day, it's the North London derby. There's been some tasty performances, and some results that haven't gone our way. But obviously, we've had that record. What is it? Over 10 seasons now where we're unbeaten against Tottenham at the carpet. So At home, like, traditionally we're good, but away, obviously, in their little shiny new toilet, we don't really get the same result as we do at home. But yeah, I mean, look, at the carpet, for me, the actual performance was top notch because for the first time in a long time, we converted and were very clinical from our counter attacks. And from what I remember, like Xhaka, when he made a challenge and he progressed the ball forward, was it Aubameyang's goal?
Yes, Aubameyang's goal. Xhaka was the one that got no. It was Harry Kane's goal, the one that Xhaka got injured. No, Harry Kane was the
No,
one.
Harry Kane assisted. Harry
Saka.
Kane assisted the Saka goal because because he's a gooner at heart, isn't he?
Shaka didn't assist.
Yeah.
Xhaka didn't assist either goal. It was Smith Rowe and Saka who assisted both goals.
Yeah, but I'm saying was it the Obers goal where Xhaka won the ball in our defensive third, and then it was him that initiated that counter attack. So I think it led to Smith Rowe, and then was it Smith Rowe that played in Oba to finish?
I think that was so.
Yeah, and look, obviously, both Smith Rowe and Saka, are two star boys moving up from the youth academy, our academy graduates. They both got on a score sheet, and what a feeling that must be. Do you know what I mean? To not only score at the Emirates, but to score in the North London derby, that must be an amazing feeling. Like a feeling that all us fans that could ever dream of doing, so make that a reality for them at their young age, you just gotta tip your hat off and give them major props and applaud them because that must be an amazing feeling. And look, to see it from our players from when they've been involved with Arsenal Football Club from knee high, that's an amazing thing. But yeah, look, that game in the first half, we done very well. Well, I think up until like the 75th minute, and then obviously when Son scored that goal, and then like the last 10 minutes, which I feel we kind of suffer from that, the last 10 minute syndrome, that kind of reappeared. But yeah, it was our first convincing high performance win.
Okay, moving on, guys. After Aslan's points there, we're on, and we'll move on from the Tottenham game, and we'll now look at we'll look at the next few block of games. So Wimbledon game, I'm gonna skip past that, and I'm just gonna go forward to now. So we're gonna look at Brighton, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. These three games have three different stories. The Brighton game, we were not clinical, and we absolutely got battered the whole entire game. The Crystal Palace game at home, we scored the early goals, and then we sat back, and we let Crystal Palace back into the game. Aston Villa, it seemed like we kind of figured out the perfect balance between setting up well defensively and also going forward. So we got goals early. Then we continued to try to get more goals in the second half. And then near the end, we got a little bit complacent and we let them peg one back. So I view those games as we learned our lessons from the first two games that are on the screen and used all the information that we accumulated from those games in the Aston Villa game to make ourselves a better team. And that's how I look at it. I think it was those two draws. We learned our lessons from those draws. And luckily they were not losses, because even if you learn lessons from losses, it's not good, because at the end of the day, those 3 points, you're going to need them those 3 points or those 1 point, you're going to need them going forward. So I'm happy we got something out of the Brighton and Crystal Palace game, but we could have been better in those games. And on another day, if Pepe was, if Saka or Pepe were squared in Smith Rowe against Brighton, we could have won. On another day, Brighton could have beat us 3-0. Crystal Palace, if we didn't make mistakes, we could have won that game. On another day, Crystal Palace could have made another error, and Crystal Palace could have won that game. So you can take positives and negatives from those games. But the Aston Villa game was a convincing performance, in my opinion. Was a great performance from beginning to end almost. And there was maybe 10, 15 minutes where Aston Villa were good, but we dominated those games. What do you think, Aslan?
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Agal, how you broke that down in those 3 games. Look, the Brighton one away wasn't a convincing performance in the slightest. You know, and I guess the major factor was the weather, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? The weather forecast wasn't on our side. But no, look, jokes aside, I remember, you know, their fullbacks causing us a lot of problems. You know, what was it? Their was it the left back or the right back? That Cucurella?
Dylan.
Yo.
Yeah. So yeah, he was causing us problems, and yeah, I mean, look, I guess it was just one of those, you know, bad nights away, and then yeah, the Palace game again, you know, home advantage and all that, London derby, and you know, the return of our invincible legend, King Paddy Vieira, you know, and look, it just went to show that, you know, they are playing for that manager in that game, and you know, we were, I guess, lucky again to actually scrape a point, even though
I did to City.
Yeah, but no, but like obviously, I expected you know, maximum 3 points. Although I believe I think I predicted a draw, but you know, that was me going with my head and not my heart. And yeah, you know, again, you know, dropping points at home for me is not acceptable. But you know, it is what it is. And look, the Villa game again, like you said, I guess we've learned from those last 2 performances, and we had to come up with the goods and actually produce. And we did against Villa. It was definitely another solid performance. So I was happy with that for sure.
Okay, and we already know what we thought about the Leicester game, so I'm just gonna put that away for a second. Dylan, since you've just joined us, we've talked about a lot of things, but a lot of people
I was listening on the wood.
A lot of people are changing their minds on what's going on at Arsenal, and some people are even saying Arteta keeps this up, he's gonna win me back. What do you think it would take for people to start going back to Arteta and being like, you know what, he might be good enough to stay in the job. He's doing a good job with the team, and long term
make top 4. That's it.
Make
top 4, win the Carabao Cup. Other than that, he's got to go. So I've seen over the years, bro. I've seen this all before. It's the same pattern. Arsenal win a few games, everyone gets gassed, and what happens? We crumble. So let's not get gassed. We're on a good bit of form, you know, but in those 9 games, we probably had, 3 good games? Tottenham, Leicester was good, but I still think Leicester battered us for a little bit as well. We're under a lot of pressure. If Ramsdale doesn't make those saves, that's a whole different game. So, you know, we have to take into the context of what the game was as well. Look, it's gonna take a lot. For me personally, I'm not a flip-flop or anything like that. I haven't seen enough. My decisions and my judgments come over a 2-year period, not just 1 or 2 games like some people. But look, we're all individual. Look, at the end of the day, we all want our club to do well. You know, we all want Arsenal to succeed. So I'm not gonna keep pushing an agenda Arteta rad just because like we're winning. So we're winning, it's great, but I can hear my voice.
If you have anything in the background with
he's probably got your video in the background.
Turn it off.
He's probably turned it off now.
Okay, hello?
Yeah, you got. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you have something in the background?
No, I don't, bro. Can you hear anything?
I'm getting too much playback from you.
Yeah, I can hear echo from you.
All right, sir. I'll go back out and come back in.
No, I think it's gone now. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gone as well.
Yeah, it's gone. Okay. So yeah, the question now is is this 9-game unbeaten run enough to keep Arteta in job?
No, because the thing is as well, like, bro, like when we had Unai Emery, we went 22 unbeaten and we completely capitulated. So I've seen it all before. So all I'm trying to say is let's just take it as it comes. You know, I heard you at the start of the show saying like, this is the next test, and I believe that's how it should be done. Game by game, everything is an individual test. Liverpool, we haven't versed any big side. You know, Tottenham were in horrible form for much as they think they're a big side. They were in bad form, and they've continued that. Leicester City, they haven't played the best this year at all. They've been very underwhelming this year. So we haven't had like that huge test. Villa, they started good, but they started deflating. They got battered this morning as well. Look, I still think Liverpool is a real test, and because we go to Anfield every single year and we get completely battered 4-1, 5-1, 5-0, whatever it is. I can't remember the last time we went to Anfield and weren't like 3-0 down, honestly, like in the first half. I think we had that one game where we were like 1-0 and then we got beaten 5-1 or something. So to me, that's a real big test. But I want to judge it, you know, when it comes to Christmas, are we still in a top 4, you know, race? Are we still competing for the top 4? And what are we going to do in that transfer window? We're going to bring some people in to strengthen up. We're going to lose a lot of players to AFCON. So there's going to be a lot of things that happen over the next few months, but take it game by game. I'm happy where we are. You know, we started abysmal. If you told me after the first 3 games there would be 17 points out of 21, I'd be gassed. So I'm very happy, and we'll just take it game by game.
There you go. CSG, Aslan, quickly, are you guys still very much Arteta out, or what would change? What would it take to change your mind? And Madrid Uchiha is here. Big up to you.
Do you want me to go?
You want to go first, mate? Go first, mate.
All right, cool, Aslan. Yeah. For me, I'm still Arteta out because I still don't think he's the right guy. But again, I said when I spoke to you earlier, I said I want to be proven wrong. I want him to prove me wrong. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I can only give him till the end of the season and see where we are. Like I said, with Arsenal, I know Arsenal too well. I've seen this so many times. We'll play well for a couple of games, and then you know, I know Arsenal too well. I've seen this so many times. Sorry, is that an echo? Sorry,
I think that shocks. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I know, like I said, I know us too well. I know when we played Tottenham, when we won that game, we all expected the next game, which was Brighton and Crystal Palace, would literally, you know, give a good performance and everything would win and everything. But it didn't turn out that way. We didn't lose, but the nature of the way we played felt like a defeat, especially against Brighton. I mean, no, not Brighton, Crystal Palace. That game really. You know, I was really upset by that game. Like, you can't play a home game like that. And we actually almost lost that game, in fairness, if it wasn't for Lacazette when he, you know, scored that goal. We could have lost that game. But for me, I don't think we've turned a corner yet. I was saying earlier to you guys that I have to give it at least 10 games to see where we are. And for Arteta, it would have to be to the end of the season. Like,
CFC, what are you talking about? 10 games from now or 10 games from the start of the season? Because we're
no. From now. Let's just see. That's till December. Then I can say, okay, maybe we've turned the corner a bit.
Hold the fuck on. So you're telling me, that from the beginning of the season, when you was talking all like was before, till now, you're talking about he needs another 10 games from now to convince you. Is that what you're saying?
Listen. He needs. For me, end of the season, Arteta, right? But in terms of turning but in terms of turning a corner, let's just see where we are at December. Then we can say, okay, maybe, you know, we've turned a corner, or things have changed a little bit. But you know, it's a long season. It's a long season, and a lot's gonna happen.
I'm about to say your whole shit upside down. But I need to understand where you lot have come from. I'm sorry. I had a Halloween night with my my family and that. I've been drinking, so boy. But I'm gonna turn this whole fucking thing on its head. Hold the fuck on. You lot are trying to tell me now you're gonna give him 10 games from now till whenever.
No, that's CSG.
Just all of us.
No, this is mad. Everyone was saying at the beginning of the season that they're giving him 10 games, right? Aslan, you're my witness, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was very vocal about that. I mean, but the way that I put the question out was that if we lose 5 games out of the 10, does he deserve to be sacked?
He still deserves to be sacked in my eyes.
Yeah, no, Dylan, I 100% agree. Look, I personally, from the back of the end of last season, I didn't want Arteta to get this window or the backing that he got. I felt he should have been. Him handing his resignation, or whoever upstairs making the call should remove him from his position. But look, it was very clear that from the ownership and the board and the director level that he was going to stay and he was going to be backed. That's why they spent around 160 mil and brought in made 6 additions to the squad and the team. And look, for me, it hasn't been a very good start, because at the end of the day, we've played 10 games now, and for me, it's 17 points out of 30.
Can I just say
I'm going to include the first 3 games, and the reason being is because the first 3 games count just as much as the last 3 games of the season. So when we're supposedly chasing the top 4 spot and we're still in it, those 3 games, just as important as they are, the first 3 games of the season are just as important, because if we don't make the top 4, I'm going to bring back the first 3 results. And what I mean by that is because of even though we made a few additions, the season kicked off, and by the 3rd game in, we were still bringing in players. That shows me, that translates to me that was another season, a repeated pattern where we went into that window half-heartedly with not a plan A. So that's just my position on that.
Can I just take...
just to get everyone's takes on this. CSG has said his point. Gunnar Express has said his... not Gunnar Express. Azlan said his point. Dylan said his point. You got Shocks. Shocks, what's your stance on this? And then I'm going to go to Mr. X, and then we're going to continue on to the next topic if possible.
Right. Okay. If I genuinely being honest right now, yeah. All right. Okay. So in the summer, we all had our transfer plans, what we thought was the best movement moving forward and stuff like that. We've now seen, like a lot of us never necessarily agreed. Like, there was a point, where I came from it and I said, Leno is not the fucking guy. Whoever these men are saying get in as the new goalkeeper moving forward, then just do it. Just fucking do it. That's not me saying that I think that Ramsdale was going to be the guy. It was just, we are done with Leno right now, right? Now we're looking at, again, same thing with Tomiyasu as a right back, I don't watch Bologna. I don't even watch Italian football to let alone know that fucking Tomiyasu is the guy, right? Let alone watch Bologna, right? Okay, cool. He's come in. He's done his thing. Ben White was not the best signing in terms of what we thought. He weren't the guy. And all of everyone, Tavares, Lokonga, like everyone, none of these players was the guy that we had on the end of their lips. However, right, these men have come in, and as a team, these men have done their bit. Now we are performing as a team, right? All these men that was saying that, this player needs to stay, and this guy is sick, and this guy is that, them men there are not in the Arsenal team anymore. However, we've brought in these new guys, 6. If I'm being deadly honest, the last game that we had, 6 new people came in and we convincingly won. Convincingly, to the point where we're saying these men are the guys to take us forward. Look, everyone was reactionary in the first 3 games. However, everyone right now is still reactionary of these new fucking signings that we've made, right? How do we take it? Are the new signings bad, and are we going to be a reactionary of that? Or are the old signings better than what they should be doing, and are we going to be reactionary of that? It is so mad. Right now, guys, I promise you, everything needs to be taken game by game. And
Exactly,
I said that at one point. At one point, I said, you know what? Yeah, listen, I can't predict what's going to happen in the next game. We just need to take it game by game. And as it's standing right now, we have not lost in the last 8. Yeah, that is an unbeaten record that a lot of people in this league right now cannot match. No one can match that, regardless of whether we've lost, drew or won, right? You cannot match our unbeaten record moving forward. One second.
Isn't it 10 games?
I thought it was 9.
And 3
It's 9. It's 9.
I thought it was 9, yeah.
10 in all composition, 8 in
it's 9 in all competitions.
9 in all, yeah.
You guys
8,
know.
Sorry, have we played 9 games or have we played 10 games in the league?
9 games in all competitions. Since
8 in
the cups.
Since the Man City game, we haven't lost a game.
Okay, so it was 7 in the Prem.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. You know how
Bro, have we played 3 rounds in the Carabao Cup, bro?
Yeah,
2 in the Carabao, 1 in the FA, wasn't it?
We lost in the Man City game, so that it cuts away from the West Brom game. But we are still 8 in the Prem. That is hard. That is not easy, guys. One second, guys. One second.
No worries, sure. I'll just take you out for.
Can I just on this point here? You know, we're talking about points pretty much. I'm just going to say the contrast of what it is now. You know, a lot of Arsenal fans now getting gassed, 17 points or whatever we are on at the moment. Yet Tottenham are out here complaining on 14 that they're going to sack a manager. I'm just saying the contrast there. Their standards are a little bit higher than what maybe ours are right now.
No, but have you seen the way they're playing? Have you seen the way?
Bro, we haven't been playing good either. We played 2-3 good games.
Okay, I hear that.
I think we should have lost to the Brighton. Burnley was bad. We've only played 3 good games. Spurs because they were horrible, and like I said, the last 2.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying the contrast in the clubs right now.
I got a guest here. Big up my guy. Thank you for coming on, bro. What's your name again?
Tariq talks.
Thank you, Tariq. Big up Tariq. Just before you go, Tariq, Mr. X was supposed to go before you. So Modric, Uchiha, take it away.
What's the question?
What do you think about the undefeated streak, and have you changed your opinion on Mikel Arteta?
Not one bit, bro. Not one bit. Because to be honest, the game against Crystal Palace, we should have lost that game. Just a last-minute equalizer. So, and the way we've been playing, honestly, the Leicester game, even going back to that, we'll give for 20 minutes. After that, Leicester dominated us. If that's any other team, or they just scored 1 goal, we would have probably either lost or drew. I've been Arteta out since day 1. And it's funny how Arteta is, they don't want to talk about certain games here and there.
Nah.
They don't want to talk about his first season, but they want to take credit for that FA Cup, but they don't want to talk about the first 3 months. It doesn't work like that. If you want to talk about it and you want to take credit for your FA Cup, then it counts as well. First 2 seasons, he's finished 8th place. And now it's the same old Arteta, same old Arsenal, 50-50, 5 wins. What is it, 3 losses, 2 losses?
3 losses in the league. 3 losses in the league, yeah.
Basically 50-50, bro. But I'm Arteta out, but I know he's not going to get sacked. So I'm okay with it. I hope we get top 4. And hopefully, it should be a Frank Lampard thing. When he gets top 4, he should be sacked and we should be going to get a better manager. But I know that the board is just going to keep him in. So far, what I would say is the players like him and they're happy with him, which is why they fight for him. But as soon as they stop liking him,
they're his mates.
As soon as they stop liking him, they're going to turn on him and they're going to start playing poorly.
That's the only thing
that's keeping him in.
Let Tariq go next. We got a regular here, channel regular here. Big up to you. Honestly, I get why some people speak the way they speak, but come on, guys, it's too much negativity, she says. And I hear where she's coming from. We just went undefeated in 9 games, won 7 of our last 9. Tariq, you had a point to say about this. We were on Harry's stream earlier. You didn't get to answer the question. What was the question you were going to ask me?
Oh, I was just going to ask you in terms of like, what will it be like? It was in terms of who you most impressed with in terms of our 6 signings and like why.
Okay, this is the man I'm the most impressed with, Ramsdale. There's a lot of people in this picture, but Aaron Ramsdale, his leadership, his ruggedness, him no nonsense goalkeeping, coming collecting the balls. Johnny Evans tries to leave one on him. He right away gets in his face and tells him, you can't do that around here. It's not the same old Arsenal. You know how we always hear the same old Arsenal? Aaron Ramsdale is a little bit different from the same old Arsenal. Luckily, it's not the same team that we had a year ago, because if Aaron Ramsdale would have came in the team that we had a year ago, I genuinely believe that he would have been Arsenalized and he might have changed his mentality. But some of these guys right now, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, all of them have been performing well, but the reason is because of how Ramsdale is an infectious personality, how good of a keeper he is, and how he's a no-nonsense keeper. Everyone around him, you make a mistake, you're hearing about it immediately. And that's why I feel like he's been one of the best signings for Arsenal and probably one of the best signings in the Premier League, full stop. I can't name one better. You guys agree?
I second that as well.
Everyone here agrees. Ramsdale has been the best signing so far this summer.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has been our best signing because of what he's done and how he's come into the side and staked his claim to be a first choice goalkeeper. That's why he's with the others. Tomiyasu, as I was saying in the previous stream, I think I have been impressed with him in his style and what he's brought to that right back position. I think long term though, in the future, then there will probably become a few issues, because going forward, I think that may become an issue when teams do try and sit off us. We haven't seen that yet because we've come out of the blocks and in the past few games and taking the lead so early. But when we're trying to break down an opposition team who probably have the lead or are happy to settle for the draw or come on the counter attack, I'm going to see how Tomiyasu will do then. Because I was also saying in the previous stream that if Zaha was playing against Crystal Palace, I think he probably would have caused Tomiyasu more problems in that situation. But but to pose a bit of balance to it, you have to be impressed with what he's done physically. I think aerially, he helps Ben White a lot, because that's an area, what we saw against Brentford with Ben White, that's an area that he needs to develop. I don't think he'll ever quite get to an aerially dominant player because of just his sheer physical capabilities. But with Tomiyasu next to him, I think he provides that balance. So that's another big signing that I'd like to point out.
There you go. I personally think, I want to know everyone's opinion. Out of the 6 signings, how many of them would you say have so far been good signings? Because in my opinion, I know it's early, but if I was to judge them only on what I've seen so far, I would say we've gotten 6 out of 6 in our signings.
I don't think Ben White's been that great.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think he's just been okay.
You're not looking deep enough. I think you're not looking deep.
I agree.
I just think he's just been okay.
Okay.
I think the one thing that we need to understand is that partnership.
I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah, all right. Cool. All right. The one thing is, right, we can all look at Gabriel and say, yeah, you know what, he's always been a dope signing, right? Okay. A lot of people would have said like towards the end, the latter stages of last season, he weren't the best, right?
Yeah, after the injury, yeah. And COVID as well, right?
What's good with him?
Big up, bro.
Hello. Can you hear me, gang?
Yeah, let Jamie go. Jamie, what's up, man?
Right. How are things, boys? I've been watching you for a while, and I'm drunk now, so I'm talking absolute rubbish now, all right? But, like, what's the subject now, like? Because I want to get in now, because I'm always in the chat. And I was like, I'll actually join the stream there one time, like.
We're talking about the signings. Who has been the best signing, and have all of them been good, or what do you think?
Oh, here, I won't lie, like most of the time I think I get it right, but I looked at Ramsdale, I was like, you're going to be useless. And then I looked, I've seen the last few games, like, and I've been like, okay, you gave me a slap in the face, man. You made me look like an absolute fool. But like, when you look at players like Lakanga, some people would say, oh, he can't play with this fella, he can't play with that. But like, if you give him time, you can see he can play well. How many games have we been missing Xhaka? No.
He doesn't come back in, no way, bro.
He doesn't.
I think we're 10 out of 11 undefeated without Xhaka.
I reckon he'll be back in.
I hope not.
I bet you when he's back and available.
I bet you're right, yeah.
Straight in. I hope not.
That's what sucks.
I hope not, lads.
Straight back in the team.
Do you know? I hope not.
He's back. He's back.
Ben White, the last 3 or 4 games, he's looked all right. Other than Crystal Palace game, he's looked all right, lads. I wouldn't say, oh, he's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, he's done right. I like the way he drives with the ball. I do like that out of defense. You know, he sees that gap and he runs straight through the middle. I love that about him. I love one that can carry the ball. So that is a great aspect. I'm just saying that he just hasn't, like, a Ramsdale's wowed me. He's like really just been like, what the hell?
Okay, I just want to quickly divert the conversation to ODEGAARD. What are we saying about ODEGAARD's time at Arsenal so far? Because a lot of mixed feelings about ODEGAARD, a lot of mixed feelings about how he's performed at Arsenal. And I've heard people say Smith Rowe's better than him. I've said that myself.
Yeah,
I've
he
heard
is. Yeah,
people say
he is. Yeah.
I've heard people say we're going to grow frustrated with him. Some people call it
different type of players, though.
Yeah.
I just want to know what everyone thinks on him in like a couple words. I'll start with you, Shocks. Go ahead.
All right, okay. If I'm being deadly honest with you, yeah. Look, I don't listen to anyone that has anything to say about ODEGAARD right now, because everyone said the same thing about Ramsdale. Everyone said the same thing about Tomiyasu. Everyone said the same thing about this man. Starting the season, everyone said Gabriel was a waste man and he's a shit defender on Reddit. I've seen people talk about fucking Emil Smith Rowe not being the guy. I've seen the worst thing, yeah, is what I would do right now is by listening to every other perspective of, and that's even including my own, because I have not been 100% right on specific people. However, what I can look here is Arteta's talent ID seems to be very on point right now, right? I know we may not have seen their best attributes or features, but moving forward, in terms of what we're seeing right now, being on 10 games, all competitions, unbeaten run to the point now where even Manchester United fans are saying Arteta has something more than Oli, right? I don't think this is nothing that we can all ignore now, guys. Like, seriously, at some point we have to start realizing, do you know what? Even though it might not be to the standards that we want, he is doing something. And the players he's brought in, they are doing something. We are seeing. Look, one of the reasons I was Arteta out is because I weren't seeing a style of play and I weren't seeing us impacting games. In the last 10, I'm not even going to lie to you, we've seen it. We've seen it. Like, we've seen the style of play, whether that's 4-4-1-1 or the 4-3-3 where specifics are going on and red. Genuinely, we're seeing it. All we can do right now is being like, okay, cool. We've seen it. Get us top 4. Go and get us top 4. Minimum. The very, very, very minimum, go and get us top 6. But I think we're going to finish above top 6. I can't lie to you. I think we are going to finish higher than Man United this year. And I'm starting to genuinely believe it.
That's if United don't sack Oli and get Conte, then...
Hey, listen.
That's a bold statement, man.
Even if a new manager comes in at United, he's going to have to implement a style of play and work with all of those superstars he has in one team. We don't have that.
One second, let me just stop you there, Shocks. I just want to know, everybody here, quickly, the same thing that Shocks just said. What are we saying about these signings? Is it we're moving past the signings and we're just saying, you know what, they've all hit off? What?
No, you can't say we're moving past them signings, bro, because everyone is saying, like, if the main one, the one that cost the most or the one that was underwhelming or Arteta, he has been man of the match for the last 4 games?
Okay, so who are we giving credit to, Arteta or Edu? I'm gonna start with you, Tyreek, because I can see by your face you really want to go on this one.
Yeah, nice. You know what?
Answer this correctly, please.
You have to give credit to Arteta because he's the one who said Ramsdale over Neto because remember, Eddie wanted Neto. He's the one who wanted Tommy.
He wanted the Brazilians. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in terms of like, you know, that's exactly what he wanted. And Arteta is the one who's made these decisions, and it's him the one who's implementing and putting them into the team. And the reason why Nuno Tavares can come in and over Kieran Tierney when Kieran Tierney's out injured and still perform at a decent level. And I mean, beyond above what we've seen from Kieran Tierney this season, in all honesty. And we know how the Arsenal fan base, I like Kieran Tierney. I love him when he's on form, but you can't trust him. And that's a big issue because of his fitness record and what he's been proven. But also in terms of what you were saying, Nigal, about ODEGAARD, for me, I don't know what everyone else's point of view is on this, but I think with ODEGAARD, it's injuries that's taken its toll. Remember last season, after the Spurs game, and then we had the international break then, and then he came back injured, and against Liverpool he was poor then. And what we've seen, and we didn't know this before against Crystal Palace, I noticed his pressing dropped off massively. Against Spurs, he was the first man in the press.
Wait, who are you talking about? ODEGAARD?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So, and that's where I knew something weren't right. And now that he's been taken out and that injury's been made clear, he was obviously playing injured. You know, we see a lot of players because his pressing dropped down a lot, and that's a big part to ODEGAARD's game. He's what the energy he brings. And in terms of the creative, like I see one of the people in the chat saying like he's been poor and Laka's a better creator. What we have to remember is that when ODEGAARD came on, he played the ball to Saka a couple of times. If Saka could shoot, it'd have been a different story. I remember that one shot that went over the bar against Leicester, and he skied it. If Saka could shoot, that's one area of his game that he really needs to improve. Then it's a different story.
Yeah. All right. So obviously you watched the game last night, right? Yesterday. I'm saying last night. It was blatantly fucking early in the morning. But all right, okay. So when we all saw Laka come off as a number 10, right, and then ODEGAARD coming. Did you see the difference that ODEGAARD actually made in that game?
Yeah, definitely. We started to gain control back again because when Laka was on, this is the thing with Laka, he fades, and when he get linking with him, one touch. Yeah, he does. He presses so hard, and I don't think he. Yeah, I don't think he has the physical capability. I don't think he quite has the frame, because you have to talk about it in the skinnier man. They can run longer, and they can because that's how their body is suited for it. Whereas like Laka, he works so hard, links up so like he gets into the box. He gets into the box more than ODEGAARD does, but we lost control in that game completely. But then when ODEGAARD came on and warmed up into the game, that's when we started to create more problems, create more issues, and that's where the game was really dead and buried from a Leicester point of view.
Okay, I'm just because I have a lot of things I want to talk about and not a lot of time. Just before we go on to the Saliba point, I'm gonna ask everybody here: who do you want to see more from out of the signings, and who have you been impressed by out of the signings? I'll start with you, Dylan.
Who do I want to see more of?
Yeah.
Well, they're all pretty much starting, eh?
To be fair, want to see more from? Like, what do you want?
Obviously Ben White. I just want to see a little bit more from him. Like I said, he's the one that probably hasn't, lit up the stars yet and stuff like that. I think Gabby's sort of carrying him in that position right now. Tomiyasu's been good, but I think that's because we had such a hole for like 10 years in right back that Tomiyasu's just been a breath of fresh air. Ramsdale, can't praise him high enough so far. ODEGAARD, like we just said, injuries. But, I actually wouldn't mind if Tierney doesn't come back into the team. I think Tierney's had a very poor start to the season, and Nuno has held his own so far. He's progressing, he's defending well, getting up the pitch a lot. Like, that brother, I sometimes find him in striker. It's ridiculous, some of the runs he's making. Yeah. But Tierney, for me, has been very slack that first, 8 games that he played. So for me, I actually keep Nuno in the lineup. So I'm excited to see what he can do and let Tierney fight for his spot back. And it's good. Healthy competition. We need that.
Okay. I just want quick answers. Like the player who you think is the best so far, and then the player that you think you want to see more from. I'll go with you, Jamie. Who do you want to see more from?
I know you mightn't expect it, but Ramsdale, because the hype. We've been all saying, look how good he is. But let's see in another 15 games, if we're still saying the same thing, all good positives. Do you know what I mean? Like, because we could, in 10 games time, we could have 3 stages of, oh, Arteta's getting it right, oh, he's not, oh, the players, Arteta. So Ramsdale for me, and because if he can keep this up, it's like, whoa, you really proved us wrong. So fair play. Do you know, that's it for me.
Who have you been surprised by?
Ramsdale. Simple as.
Okay.
Ramsdale.
I've been surprised by them, but I want to see more about them.
Yeah, but keep it up.
Hi, Jamie. I'll let Mr. X go next. He's been quiet for a while. And
you in Ireland? You in Ireland?
Ireland, my brother. Cork. Big old Cork. Roy Keane, boy. Cork City.
Tommy calls me boy, innit? I know he's fucking Irish.
Right. Yeah, all right, buddy. All right, kid.
All right, Mr. X, your turn. Go ahead.
I've been very impressed by Ramsdale, honestly, because seeing him at Sheffield United before, get relegated 2 seasons in a row. When you see a relegation keeper, you're just like, you know what? He probably just concedes everything. That's why his teams get relegated. And more from, I'd say probably Ben White as well. The passing out is great, but I just want to see a few crunching tackles or more aggression. Yeah. Things you expect from a centre-back. Just like Gabriel, just be a bit more stronger and show us a bit of aggression.
Okay, I'm just gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna go ODEGAARD. I need to see more from ODEGAARD in the final third. Doing more.
The only way that's happened is to get dizzy in the chat.
If he gets game time, I want to see more from ODEGAARD. Better performances. I want to see him getting involved with more goals and assists. Statistically, I want my number 10s to get in amongst those top guys. And the guy who I've been the most impressed by, I don't know if you guys have seen him lately, but Ben White has been on a run lately, doing well over the past couple of games. He's been performing better, so I'm happy with the performances of Ben White. I could be impressed by all of them, but I just wanted to point out those 2 names because no one else has mentioned them yet.
Let me tell you something real quick. Yeah.
You
know what? I would actually rather Ben White just go unnoticed. I promise you, I would rather him just go unnoticed. Just do your fucking thing.
Agreed.
Bro. Like. Yeah. I don't even want the hype on him, because the second you put hype on him, then that's when he's on the Twitter spaces, everyone chatting shit about him, and
he'll be like Maguire. Oh, the price tag.
I don't even want it. I don't even want it, bro. I want him to just go underneath the radar and just move. Just do what you're doing, bro. The way you're doing it, I'm happy with it.
Okay, just before we continue, guys, people on Facebook, do me a favor, come join us on YouTube for the rest of the video. I'll be ending the video on Facebook. And people on Twitch, if you can do me a favor, also come subscribe on YouTube. That would be greatly appreciated, right? So yeah, let's continue. Aslan, you're next.
Yeah, for me, the most impressed I've been has to be Aaron Ramsdale. We all know why, a lot of his attributes and his skill set is far more superior to Leno's, and in all the games that he's featured, I've been heavily impressed by him, and long may it continue. The player that I do want to see more of, I agree with you, Gal, when given the start, I want to see more of ODEGAARD, because we failed to score from our midfield plays. Like, our midfield plays haven't contributed as much as we would like. So where we've invested, all right, not the most, but we still spent what was it, around 30 to 40 mil on him, and he's a permanent signing. So for someone like him in the position that he plays, I definitely do want to see a lot more from him when he's given the starting opportunities.
There you go. Tyreek, have you gone?
No, I haven't. No.
Go ahead.
For me, the player I've been most surprised with is Tavares, because there was a lot of talk about him being defensively awful. And I remember seeing him in a specific moment in that comeback against Benfica when he came on and Saka ripped him to shreds for that 3rd goal. And I thought, I don't know, man, this might be another Kolasinac type who's very good going forward, but defensively poor. He's not been. I've not seen anyone come up against him. And in who I'd like to see more of, I think it's hard to put one on it, because I'd like to see more of Tomiyasu when a proper winger comes up against him. I'd like to see more of against Tavares when an elite winger comes up against him. And then Lukonga as well in terms of a midfield battle a little bit more next to Partey, and then ODEGAARD, which you pointed out, which in terms of getting those goals and assists into his game. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say Ben White as well. Just want to see, I want to see him continue this run, go unnoticed, as Shux was saying, and because let's have the eyes. Let's put all the pressure on Gabriel because he can take it. He's got them leadership qualities. He's got the aggression that we may want to see. I think it adds a nice little balance into the back.
Okay, safe. And then finally, the final topic of the day before the video is over, we need to talk about this William Saliba situation. He is performing out of his mind over there in France. But we have a situation where we don't know what his future beholds. Will he or will he not have a future at Arsenal? Will he stay at Arsenal?
Arteta hates him. He's going to be sold.
Okay, how do you know Arteta hates him? Like, come on. Do we have a general understanding?
Because Arteta can't handle characters. That's his problem.
That's too much, bro.
I disagree, you know. I don't know. And my main reasoning for that, I think the reason why we're seeing Saliba be shining in Marseille is because he's getting guaranteed play time. You couldn't give him that at Arsenal. Right. Do you know, you can't. And he's made errors, and he's been susceptible for errors as well whilst playing for Marseille. I remember against Lens, he was quite poor in that game in terms of that. Yeah, exactly. And if that happened at Arsenal, you know, he's getting shot down. And he's like, we need to get this out of his game. Young centre-backs, that's what tends to happen. Centre-backs don't hit their peak up until late 20s. And with Saliba, now he's getting game time. I think he will come back. And I think I think Arteta may use him over Ben White in situations.
Preach.
Yeah. Did we just...
He's from up north. I like it.
Let them know.
No. I was literally just gonna say. I just saw on Twitter that Conte is supposedly going to Tottenham.
Yeah, I said that as well. So don't get it twisted. They were rumored to have him earlier in the summer. Yeah,
I know, but he rejected them. But now, bloody Terry's out here, bloody saying it's done deal. So
well, if he was meant to be rumored to be in there, how on earth what is the difference from now and then?
It's true.
Maybe they've probably doubled the bag. That's probably all they could have done is just double the bag. That's all they could have done.
If that's what they're doing, then fair play to them, innit? Like, if you're gonna offer that money, then cool, innit? Like, we all know Arsenal ain't doing it. We know.
I know.
You know, United.
I'm surprised United and Barca haven't done it. Yeah.
They can do it.
It's nice talking about Spurs when we beat them 3-0, but right now, why do we care? Let's be honest.
3-1.
Yeah, let's get back to Saliba. Saliba is shining at Marseille. Saliba is performing out of his
doing well, yeah.
Saliba one-on-one challenges versus Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, getting good results. Overall,
his speed is underrated.
William Saliba, in my opinion, back in August, I thought he was done at Arsenal. I thought he was done. I thought we were never going to see Saliba kick a ball for Arsenal. But in his recent performances, having Edu and them in the stands, watching him versus PSG, I genuinely believe they don't care about the contract situation. They're going to keep him at Arsenal for the next 2 years and try to get him locked in for a long-term contract.
I hope so.
The only way they could do that is by offering him a new contract, because we all know that when he does come back in the next year, he's got 1 year left on his contract. Right?
I thought it was 2
years, bro.
I thought it was 2
years left.
Because we signed him on 5 initially, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2.
We signed him on a 5-year contract with the condition of loaning him back to St. Etienne. So where he's now going into his third season of being on loan, he's going to come back and he's going to have 2 years remaining.
Yeah, because he did Nice for a year and then Marseille for a year.
Okay, right. Okay, good point. All right, cool. I thought it was a 4-year contract. All right, cool. If he's got 2 years when he comes back, then fair play. I guess
got to lock it up before 18 months, though.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So that means that when he does come back to Arsenal, you have to show him that he's got a solidified place in this squad,
or just an opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
But from what I'm hearing, everyone's saying that, when he does come back, these men are bare on him being integrated into the squad. And I'm so all for it. The only thing is, though, he don't have a guaranteed place. Let's be honest.
I don't think anyone should.
Nah, yeah, true.
Fact. No one should have a solidified.
So, even with Xhaka now, you shouldn't come back into the team.
I agree.
Nah,
100%.
I agree.
At the end of the day, when it
We're
when
gonna
it
need him
comes
for
to
AFCON.
team
We're gonna need him
selection,
for later, Jamie. Big up Jamie for coming on, man.
Yeah,
big
big
up
up,
Jamie,
bro.
man. Big up Ireland, man. Big up Cork.
Yeah.
Look, for me, look, I agree with Dylan. No one should be comfortable or has any right in having their name on that starting 11. Come whoever we play against on the weekend fixture. For me, if you're producing on the pitch when given the chance, you should earn your place on form and merit. So I don't want to see any favoritism one bit, So look, for me, Saliba, I was very vocal, about us sending him out on loan, and towards the end of last season when Arteta come out with things like saying that he's a part of Arsenal plans and he is going to get his opportunity in pre-season to prove himself whether he should be staying or be sent out on loan. Well, that didn't happen. And from time when we saw that Kieran Tierney being here for 2 seasons and then being given a whole new fresh 5-year contract, which I haven't seen my club do in a long time, I was very surprised by that. I'll be real with you. However, I would have felt more comfortable knowing the fact that Saliba does have a future at Arsenal if we done the same with him. If we would have extended his contract like we done with Tierney's, then I would have been okay with him actually going out on loan for the 3rd season in a row. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So, and I'll be real with you, I haven't watched Saliba, in like 90-minute games that he's appeared in. I've only caught up on the highlights, and also like just getting takes on Twitter from the people on Spaces and whatnot. And I've heard a lot of good things about him. And look, in the last game he featured against PSG, in the highlights that I saw, I didn't see that last-ditch tackle that he made on Mbappe. If it wasn't for the timeline on Twitter, I wouldn't have known about that one bit. So look, and where you mentioned Igal, what was it, Edu and someone called Ben? I don't know who he is, but they both went to that game and obviously saw that he performed at the highest level. So look, if he carries on this form and plays his best football at Marseille to the end of the season, the minute he comes back, we have to give him a whole new contract. And obviously not doing it before we sent him out on loan. Now we're probably going to be forced into giving him a higher contract, giving him a better wage. But look, at the end of the day, we invested a lot of money in him when we first signed him, as a teenager. So I want us to actually, make it concrete, cross the T's, dot the I's, make it official. And when he does actually be officially introduced into the squad this time next year, I'm not saying he's guaranteed football, but he needs to be given a chance. As long as Arteta is fair, like how he has been this season, that's all I ask.
Yeah, last season he wasn't.
Yeah, 100%, because he only got.
I felt like he was just playing his favorites,
against MK Dons.
Guys,
by playing one half, that was his judgment. So yeah,
Arteta said he's gonna leave the door open for William Saliba to.
Yeah, but bro, he said those things with Joe Willock sells him. He said Saliba's in our plans, then goes and loans him. Like, I've heard it all before. I need to see it, and then I'll believe it.
Okay, everyone here, I just want a definitive. Do you think Saliba will be part of the team next year, or do you think he'll be sold? At the moment, if everything stays as it is, do you think he'll be sold, or will he stay? I'll start with you, Madra. What are you saying, Mr. X?
It's up to him, bro. It's all up to him, because you got to look at it this way. This kid joined Arsenal when he was 18 years old. In March, he turns 21 or 22, 3 years, and he hasn't played one game for Arsenal. The way he's been treated is absolutely shocking. And Arteta just keeps saying, "Oh, you can come through this door, that door." He might just slam the door on Arteta himself. In the summer, it's up to William Saliba. It's not up to Arsenal Football Club. If he wants to leave, and just like Martinez, if they don't want to give him a first team spot, he's going to be gone. Hopefully,
I'm sure he's going to get some big offers.
Personally, I hope
Okay,
we keep him. But
Dylan,
if we lose
do you
William
agree?
Saliba, it just shows our club.
I sort of agree with X there. Like, look, it's up to Arteta. I just think maybe pride might get in the way. I'd keep him, of course. Young talent, one of the best coming through Europe, you know, in a centre back role. I'd keep him, but whether Mikel does or not is a different thing. And just like Emmy, maybe he wants first team, won't get it. And, you know, I'm sure that he's going to get multiple offers from other big teams and they'll be sniffing around. So, yeah, who knows? But I'd keep him.
Okay. Shocks?
Sure.
Do you think he's going to be here? Not if you're going to keep him or not.
Yeah, look.
It's so hard to call that.
Whether he's going to be here next year, yeah, I promise you from this. Something seems to be wrong with all of the signings that was made pre-Arteta and this whole regime. Everyone that you've seen have come in that have meant to be ballers or promising or this and that moving forward and that, they're not here today. Like anyone that was, I'm talking about your Williams, Salibas.
We need to sell Pepe, that's one.
Yeah, again, Pepe was brought in under that regime. And you could look, Guendouzi, Cedrics, Socrates, everyone that was brought in under that regime, and I'm talking about from Mislintat up until now, they're all gone. And there are a certain amount of people that are not gone. However, they're not playing game. They're not playing ball. Like Cedrics, there were so many people that was brought in under the previous regime, and right now they've either been shipped out or not playing right now, and we can all see it. Same thing with Saliba. I think Pepe and there was one more other person that's Tierney. Pepe and Tierney are the only ones that are left. However, we're now seeing Pepe's not playing, and we're seeing Tierney's not playing. There was something wrong with everyone that was brought in on the past regime. And I don't know if that was money laundering, if it was this or that.
Money laundering.
I shit you not. Everyone has gone except for Tierney and Pepe. And now we're seeing they're not playing no games. Guys, if there was ever a bigger case of money laundering, we've never seen it in football right now. Yeah, I'm just saying. I really like Saliba. He looks like he's doing bits. He could definitely add something to our squad moving forward. However, from what I can say, I know Arteta came out the other week and said that, oh yeah, he's got a future and Reza there. I think this weekend Arteta came out and said we will see at the end of the season.
Yeah,
I'm literally there. We'll see. Genuinely, we'll see. Like, I don't know if he's going to be playing. I would love him to. He seems like the right type of build. He's big, physical, fast, quick. Like,
he's good on the ball.
Like, he's got it. He's got everything. Whether we see him in an Arsenal shirt, who knows? Who knows? But I would love to see him. I would love to see him.
Just before we end off, we need two more takes, Tyreek and then Azlan. Go ahead, Tyreek.
Do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I'm going to say he definitely comes back. I think that's what's going to happen. I think a big reason for why last season, where he was treated unfairly, was Arteta didn't Arteta probably. I think it's to do with his personal life and no situation. I know, right? Yeah, it's that video. He was moving mad, but like this is where Saliba needs to get a bit more maturity. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of,
but he was 18 or whatever. 17.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's all right. It's one of them ones. But you know, like to be at a top club like Arsenal at 18, 17, 18, you got to be a different level. You got to be a different level of maturity.
By the time Saliba's 30, by the time Saliba's 30, he would have had a couple of years of being one of the best centre backs in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
But we just need to see if we can hold on to him because I don't know.
We will.
I don't know if we're going to hold on to him. I think his agent might try to push him away from the club, and they might feel mistreated by the club.
I think the agent will probably want a new signing on fee or something.
Do you know what, though, we got? And do you know what you got to remember is Saliba's not actually played that many games in his career. Like, he didn't play that many games. Yeah, exactly. He even got injured at Saint Etienne.
Yeah, like in that period. Even Nice last year,
Yeah, there you go. So, like, in terms of that centre-back position, you do need to get a lot of games under your belt to really gain that experience, to understand how to play against different strikers. I remember when he was at Nice, that big striker, Diallo, caused him problems all game. You get that in the Premier League. Ivan Toney would do that. And we know that he's got the physicality in terms of his stature and size and the athleticism, but it's all up there. That's where it is. It's all up there for centre-backs. And reading the game, understanding situations, and only experience can get that. And experience away from Arsenal, where he's guaranteed football, that's perfect for him to grow.
Okay. Aslan, finally.
He's spitting. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, Saliba, for me, if he carries on this form that he's producing at Marseille to the end of the season, 100% he deserves a contract extension. And, by doing so, look, I understand maybe, he's setting himself targets and, he's definitely an ambitious player. And he probably does want guarantees going into the new season, next season, where he wants starts. But at the end of the day, like I said before, no player should get an automatic start in this team. Everyone should be on their tippy toes. No one should be flat-footed. Everyone needs to be earn their place on form and merit.
That's how you get the best.
At the end of the day, we do need strength in depth, something that, of real quality. And, we haven't had that for a little while. So when, fingers crossed, he does come back next season, he does get his contract extension and he goes into the new campaign this time next year. Look, when given the chance, I believe, he will come good, but I'm not going to expect it at a consistent level. Like, I'm not going to put that pressure on him because, he's going to be one of our youngest centre-backs. And look, he's going to make a mistake here and there. But I just hope that our fan base doesn't get on his back or on his case like that and just allow him to learn from his mistakes and, eventually grow from there. And look, at the end of the day, I've said it before, for every position out there on the pitch, we need a quality backup, and until we have that, we're not going to elevate up the table and be consistent season in, season out. So, yeah, for me, Saliba, like I said, he deserves it 100% this time at the end of the season. So
there you go. Big up to everybody here. Big up to Tyreek for coming on, making his debut. Mr. X making his debut. Jamie coming. CSG came in. Dylan, Shocks, Aslan, everybody who's joined us for the night. Big up to everyone in the chat. I've seen some regulars who put in comments but never really show up when we're live, even in the chat today. So big up, where is it? Felb and everybody else. So shout out to all you guys. Big up to the whole comment section. Have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. Wonderful night, and have a good Monday tomorrow. So yeah, peace out.
Smash the likes, man. Smash the likes.
Smash the people.
Subscribe. Shit, sub up.
What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification.